sorry I ran out of data on my phone. But I've deleted some things now. Okay, let's read the blurb then. You can't be friends with an earthworm. You can't even tell which end is which. Or can you? What do you think? Look at all these yucky worms. What are they saying? Right, shall we see if you can make friends with an earthworm? Yucky worms. One day when I was in Gran's garden, Gran dug up a slimy, slithery, wiggly worm. Yuck, I said, throw it away. Throw it away? Gran looked horrified. Would you throw away one of your friends? You can't be friends with an earthworm, I said. You can't even tell which end is which. Oh, look at all the creatures. Can you spot the snail? Can you see it? Or maybe a butterfly? I wonder how many birds you can see. Count them. Oh, yes, you can. Watch. Gran put the earthworm down. It gave a kind of squirmy wriggle and disappeared really fast, pointy end first. As the rounded end vanished, Gran said, "Oh, there goes its tail." I bent down to look and I could see it had left a little tunnel. "Where's it gone?" I asked. "Home," Gran said. "It's an earthworm. It lives in the earth." Should have a look at the earthworm. Got all the different parts. This is the brain and the mouth. It's got lots of hearts. 5 pairs. The clitellum. Like a little ring around it. That's where it eats. Goes into its intestine. And oh! That's its bottom where the poo comes out. Let's find out more about these worms. Does it eat earth too? I wanted to know. Oh, it eats tiny, tiny stones and bits of grit, Gran told me. But worms eat other things as well, like rotting leaves and flowers and fruit and dead insects. They especially like eating at night when it's cool. The stones and grit help to grind everything up in the worm's stomach, and then the worm poos it back out. Worms come above ground to find things to eat too. They pull their food back down as they wriggle back into the earth again. Gran pointed at the flower bed. Look, can you see? I bent down and I saw a weird, long, curly worm made of earth. That's worm poo, Gran said. It's called a cast. You know when people recycle things? Well, worms do it too. There's still a lot of goodness left in the things a worm eats, and when the goodness comes out again as poo, it helps plants grow big and strong. And as the worms move about, under and over the earth, the poo gets spread around the garden. Gosh, look at all those creatures. Even the cats are having a look, aren't they? Looks like a nice place for worms to live. That's why worms are my friends. Gran gave me a thumbs up. It's not just their poo that's good for the plants. The tunnels they dig loosen the soil so roots can stretch out and air and rainwater can get in. Gosh, they've left lots of tunnels, haven't they? But it's dangerous being a worm, Gran said. I stared at her. Dangerous? She smiled at me. Lots and lots of animals think worms make the best sort of dinner. Oh, what does that mole have on his shopping list? Oh, lots of worms. Birds love them, and so do moles, badgers, frogs, hedgehogs and foxes, and even some slugs eat worms. And human beings slice them with spades and spike them with forks. Oh, it's a tough life. Cutting them in half doesn't hurt them, Gran, I said. They just turn into 2 worms and keep on growing. Gran shook her head. Poor worms. Lots of people think that, but it's not true. She put her fork down. Time for a snack. Gran had tea and I had orange juice. Can I dig up a worm? I asked. If it rains, Gran said, the worms will come up on their own. Worms breathe through their skins. They don't mind the earth around them being wet. But if their tunnels are flooded, they come up to the surface to breathe. I took a biscuit. What if it doesn't rain? Gran winked at me. We'll use the watering can and pretend. I finished my biscuit as fast as I could. Can we drink the worms now? Gran went to fill the watering can, and I watered the earth. Then I stood back. I didn't want the worms chewing at my shoes. They only put their heads out, Gran promised, and it'll be a while before they do. When it's very hot and the soil gets too dry to slither through, a worm will wriggle down to where the earth is still damp and curl up and wait for rain. When it's very cold, it will wriggle down even deeper below the frost level and curl up with other worms for warmth. Ooh, cosy. Gran was right. I had time to eat 2 more biscuits before she said, Look! Wow! I said. I could just see the tip of a worm above the earth. Now watch this. Gran stamped and the worm disappeared. Did it see you? I asked. Gran shook her head. Worms don't have eyes. They feel vibrations though. And a thump like that might mean a hungry bird landing. Danger! Gran dug her fork in the ground. Up came lots of earth and wriggly worms. She picked one up and washed it in the watering can. Mustn't drop it, she said. They can't swim. Gran put the clean worm on some paper and held it near my ear. I could hear a tiny rustling noise. What's that? They're covered in little bristles, Gran said. The bristles in their muscles help them move. Let's have a look what it says down here. A worm has ridged muscles all the way along its body. To move, it pushes its front end forwards and it uses its bristles to hold that end in place while the back catches up. The back end bristles stop the worm from sliding backwards. while the front end tunnels forwards again into the earth, just like a slinky toy. I've got muscles too. I bent my arm so Gran could see. Oh, if you've got so many muscles, she said, maybe you'd like to help me plant my sunflower seedlings. Okay, I nodded. And then I thought of something. When I go to school on Monday, I'm going to say that I've got lots of new friends. Good idea, Gran said. Actually, I said, I might not actually say they're worms. Right, now in the back of our story, we've got some instructions. How to be a wormologist. Shall we see? Look out for worm casts in your garden or in the park, leaves sticking up out of the earth, worms on the surface after rain. Ooh, we've seen lots of worms, haven't we? Experiment by watering a dry patch of grass or earth and watching to see if worms come up. Tapping the ground to see if you can make a worm believe it's raining. And carefully digging up a forkful of earth and counting how many worms you find. That sounds fun. When you pick up a worm, remember to be respectful. A worm is a living creature. Check how it feels. Is it smooth? Is it slimy? Can you feel the bristles? Watch how it moves. Is it a youngster or an adult? Put the worm back on newly dug earth and watch how it wriggles away. And always wash your hands after touching worms. That sounds really fun. Oh, you'll have to tell me all about your yucky worm adventures. Now that is all we've got time for today. So, thank you for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and I will see you very soon. Okay, bye-bye.